We're about to land. Please put your seats into the upright position and prepare yourselves for our review of Flight Risk.
I like that. That was a great opener.
Thank you.
I've always wanted to be that voice on the airplane. Hello, attention passengers. We are now going to get prepared for landing. I always wanted to do that voice because I like using my voice.
Well,
I like
should.
to hear it.
You could try out to be a flight attendant.
No, thank you. After all these planes that just
okay,
no,
yeah,
thank you.
You're right.
I'm going to pass on that, but I would still like to do the voiceover. So, okay. Well, anyways, if you haven't guessed, we're doing Flight Risk with Mark Wahlberg. So, Miss Jules, tell us who's in this movie, and then we'll talk about what it's about.
You just said it's rated R. It's 1 hour and 31 minutes.
Okay.
It stars Michelle Dockery as Madeline. It's a small cast because you know they're in a plane, a small plane. Mm-hmm. Mark Wahlberg, as she mentioned, as Daryl.
He's a bad guy this time.
Yeah. Topher Grace as Winston.
You haven't seen Eric from that 70s show. That's Topher Grace. Mm-hmm. Haven't seen him in a while.
Leah Remini as Vincent. You just hear her voice, and she has a distinguishable voice.
It's like, annoying. How did Doug listen to her voice so much on King of Queens?
Wow.
Gosh, her voice is annoying especially when she's mad. She's got that high-pitched, nasally sounding voice. But I like King of Queens. I binged the whole series a couple months ago.
Okay. And Monib Abhat as Hassan.
So what's going on in Flight Risk? It sounds like it's going to be something. Somebody takes over the plane, want to do some terrorist activities or something in that nature.
Okay.
Boom.
Here goes the voice.
Okay.
Excuse me.
Okay, what's that?
In this high-stakes suspense thriller, Academy Award nominee Mark Wahlberg plays a pilot transporting an air marshal, Michelle Dockery, accompanying a fugitive, Topher Grace, to trial. As they cross the Alaskan wilderness, tensions soar and trust is tested, as not everyone on board is who they seem.
Not everyone is who they seem to be.
And they give that away in the trailers.
Good grief.
Mark Wahlberg.
They're giving everything away in the trailer. What the heck?
And the majority of this movie takes place on that small little plane. And I'm going to tell you right now, I didn't love it.
Yeah, you didn't seem too happy about it. I haven't seen this one yet, but you don't seem too happy about this film.
This should have went straight to some type
DVD
of
or streaming.
I said Tubi, but streaming.
Wow, you said
streaming.
Tubi. None of these movies go to Tubi.
Streaming. It should have went straight to streaming.
It sounds like it's pretty typical of the typical bad guy on the flight. Let's get him off the flight or get him killed so we can save all the people.
I don't understand how these stars were like, yeah, I'm reading it, I'm excited, and I want to do it. Like, come on, this is predictable.
This is why they do
and
it.
Some dumb stuff. Like, these people are supposed to be smart. I hate when they make smart people stupid.
Like insulting your intelligence?
Yes. For real.
So let's just go ahead. This is going to be short and sweet. Let's go ahead and talk about the fun facts you got. Look, it's making her mad.
All right. The production was shot in 22 days, and Mel Gibson himself expressed that he was surprised when the final running time clocked in at merely 91 minutes, making this his shortest directed film.
Okay.
It was Mark Wahlberg's idea to have the pilot be bald.
Right.
The filmmakers acknowledged his appearance. His appearance strongly mirrored that of BTK killer Dennis Rader. So
yeah, but if he had glasses,
he was like weird bald too, because it looked like they shaved him bald here, and then he had like a line, and then he had another bald patch. It was weird. I don't know. And when I was watching it, I didn't know that he was actually really shaved bald, and I thought I was seeing like a bald cap. But I guess that's how, since he was freshly bald, and maybe the makeup line or something.
Yeah, probably the makeup line.
Because I was like, am I seeing this man's bald cap? Come on, this
his lace front his lace front.
These are well-known actors. This should be a high production. Like, what is?
Oh, come on! You know Tyler Perry movies, the wigs be awful. And he's high production, but the thing about him is that, forget the wigs, he putting that money in his actor's bank account.
Right,
most of them, so many of them have said how they never got paid the way Tyler Perry paid them before.
Right.
And they love him for that. So maybe, you know how he said, forget the wigs, it ain't that serious.
Right. Yeah, he really shaved it. He didn't want to use a bald cap. I'm like, okay.
It didn't make me think of Dennis Rader, though. I mean, not even remotely, it didn't make me think of that. I could see what they mean by it if he wore glasses and maybe serial killed a few people. But anyway.
Right. According to Mel Gibson, Mark Wahlberg improvised much of his character.
Wait, Mel Gibson? This is a Mel Gibson film?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. He directed it.
Okay.
He said that Mark Wahlberg improvised much of his character's dialogue, explaining, Mark's got a good dark side he takes stuff from. Every now and again, he let it out, and I can't even repeat some of the stuff he'd say. In fact, we had to cut most of it out. It was really sick, but we hint at it.
I could see that. Now I want to know what he said, because he's probably saying some psychotic stuff like Dennis Rader. I would like to hear what he said. I'd like to hear that bloopers reel.
Yeah, this is the first movie in which Mark Wahlberg plays a villain since Fear in 1996. Now,
yeah, because most of the stuff he's in is funny. Most of the stuff that I see with him is.
So I want to touch on that. I remember when I saw Fear. I remember because he creeped me out so much with his face and his actions. Yeah, he was psycho in that, and it creeped me out. Like, it stuck with me. That character stuck with me for a few days. Like, wow, like, oh my gosh, there's something else. Like, what?
He was psychotic, psycho.
Yeah.
Socio.
So when I saw this movie, I'm thinking I'm going to get that Mark Wahlberg, even though that was 1996. So that's almost 30 years ago. He's done so many kids movies and all that stuff. And I know Mel Gibson said he has a dark side, but it just
didn't hit for you.
It did not hit for me. He just did not have that scary oomph. I think he needs to stick with what he's been doing, these funny family and other type of drama type movies, and not try to be the villain again unless he really can reach to wherever he reached.
Dig deep down in that darkness of his.
Yeah, watch Fear a couple more times and then be a villain again. So I am going to give this movie 2 clappers.
I figured
because it was predictable, and I feel like that's even a reach, but there was a funny part. It almost gets kind of boring because they're just in the sky.
And you already know what's going to happen. I mean, for the most part.
Yeah. So,
well,
it's just kind of disappointing.
Matinee, I'm sure you probably will wait for streaming.
Yeah, wait for streaming or skip it.
Okay.
IMDb is giving it 5.5 out of 10.
That's bad.
The tomato meter, which is the critics, is giving it 26%.
Oh my gosh. Wow.
The popcorn meter is at 62%. And I typed this stuff up, when was it? Saturday, right? So then when I went to print it out today, something just told me just to double check my work. And the popcorn meter went down from 63% to 62%.
Oh my gosh.
So, I mean, that should say something right there. And I didn't even know Mel Gibson was a part of it. And I don't have like a big, ooh, I hate Mel Gibson type thing going on. I still would have seen it because I was like, oh, this might be good from the trailer.
Incorrect, though.
It's just not that good. It's just
bland.
They do some dumb stuff.
Blah.
They do some dumb stuff.
Well, you got the 2 clappers, so she's not even recommending you go matinee. She's recommending you wait for it to be free. There's no more red box.
If you really, really want to see it, wait till it streams for free. But other than that, just skip it and go on about your life. And I'm sorry, Mel and Mark and Topher. I'm sorry, y'all, but come on.
It's
This was.
I didn't know this was a Mel Gibson.
This was
Mel
lazy
Gibson joint.
writing. It was a throwaway.
Maybe it's time for him to retire. Mel,
I'm just gonna.
He directed
this
it.
Isn't fully a spoiler. This is kind of a spoiler, but not fully a spoiler. But there's a part when Mark Wahlberg's character is tussling with the air marshal. He's trying to stab her. He has a knife, and they're fighting with it, and it ends up flying out of her hands. It hits Topher Grace and hits the floor. They even talk about the fact that he tried to stab her. He ends up changing seats. Why would he pick the knife up? Why wouldn't he pick the knife up?
Either one of them.
You know, you need to have a weapon when you have a crazy person that's in close quarters with you. You're on a plane. The plane moves. So it's predictable that the knife is going to slide right back to Mark Wahlberg's character. That's my spoiler. I'm sorry. I spoiled it. Kind of, but... So
you saying Topher should have picked up the knife, and he didn't. Mr. Winston should have picked it up, and he didn't.
He should have picked it up when he got up and changed seats. Or when they talked about, a few minutes later, when he's like, this man just tried to stab you. He should have thought, there's a knife that hit me in the face and fell right by my feet.
And he didn't pick it up.
He picked it up.
Started to sound like a horror movie. So that stuff like that really irritates her.
We're talking about horror movie. Let me give you guys a tip. From all the horror movies I've seen, and I know you agree with this, never drop your weapon Never drop your weapon.
I don't care if you hit him 4 times. Don't drop it after that.
Dead. You know, if you're not sure, if you have a gun, freaking double tap them in the head.
You know you're supposed to double tap all the time.
Just keep the gun on you still, because evil is hard to kill.
When I watch this stuff and I see them shoot, look, you didn't double tap. The psycho's going to get right back up again. Secondly, when you hit him with the bat, you hit him 2 times and then dropped it in his back.
Why do they drop it?
You hit him in his back.
You know,
2 times.
What is that like? Bing!
No, when they do that, you know what I'll be like, you know what? I'll be get her. Just for that stupidity. And then you want to go hug and kiss and stuff and junk all next to the body.
Then they get up and they kill you with that same weapon. Like, I don't have sympathy after that. You should have kept it. You had it in your hands. You should have kept it.
That's when I start rooting for the serial killer in the movies. But anyway, we're not gonna go off on too long a tangent because we want to make this flight risk nice and sweet. As you see, she only gave it 2 clappers. So there you have our review of Flight Risk, currently at theaters. Don't forget that Jules and we are on Cash App. Any donations appreciated. We pay for our own equipment, do our own editing, and all that good stuff. We are also on Facebook. We are on YouTube. We are on Instagram. All right. So make sure you like, subscribe, follow, share our videos, chit chat with us about the movies or about something you want to see. If there's a movie you want to know if we've seen it or not yet, ask us so we can chit chat about it, maybe review it for you. Okay. All right. Well, thank you very much for tuning in. We will see you back here very soon. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.